welcome back to Kipko Family Homestead, and I'm so happy that you're here once again. Today I'll be sharing some summertime favorite meals that my family really enjoys. For today's breakfast, we're having some delicious oatmeal with maple syrup and brown sugar. It's been such a blessing to be eating our very own raspberries from our garden. Something really fun that happened this past weekend was my husband's sister and her children came over to visit us. And since she was in town, Mark's aunt stopped by as well. And we actually went foraging in the forest behind our house. And his aunt taught us how to identify the chanterelle mushroom, which is growing in such an abundance in the forest behind our house. So we were learning how to forage properly, and it was just such an amazing experience. And we got so many bags of these beautiful mushrooms. They have the most pleasant apricot smell to them. And she also taught us how to prepare them. So the first thing she said to do is to clean the mushrooms thoroughly using a toothbrush. So I washed and cleaned them, cut off the stems. Then the next thing she said to do is take water and soak the mushrooms in water and 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Then after about an hour, they are ready to cook. So I am preparing mine the traditional Russian way. So you saute some onions, you fry the mushrooms with the onions, and in a separate pan you fry some potatoes, and then towards the end you combine the two, and it turns out absolutely delicious this way. Foraging is a skill that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and so this experience was so great, and I now know a little bit about identifying toxic mushrooms and edible mushrooms, but I have so much more to learn. Next up, I am making a homemade berry apple juice. In Russian, we call this kompot, and usually it is made in the summertime when the garden is full of berries and there's lots of fruit in the garden. So really what it is just a ton of apples, and I use a whole bag, I think it's about 3 pounds of frozen berries. And the key to good kompot or homemade juice is to have tart apples and make sure your berry mix has blackberries. The blackberries are really the berry that adds in the special, just delicious flavor. And without it, it just is not the same. So make sure that if you're getting a berry mix like I did, I got a mix of raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. Make sure that your berry mix has blackberries because some of them don't have them. A lot of the berry mixes, you'll see it with raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. But to have that authentic taste, you gotta have the blackberries. So for the recipe, you traditionally will put sugar in there, which is what I did. I did about 2 cups of sugar. You can do less if you like. And there's probably a way to substitute it for honey or maple syrup, but I just haven't tried it yet, but I do intend to in the future. Also, I just wanted to say that my family usually does not purchase drinks from the store just because of the ingredients. So this is such an amazing thing to have on hand, and my family really enjoys it because, like I said, we don't buy store-bought juice. So this is an amazing alternative. And honestly, it tastes 100 times better than the heavily processed juices that you buy in plastic bottles at the store. It also does not cost a lot at all to make, and great ingredients, especially if you use everything organic. And it's actually good for your family, probably minus the sugar. But like I said, you can try substituting honey or maple syrup. I'm so glad my sister-in-law shared this recipe with me while she visited. And now I just have the perfect summer drink to make for my family to enjoy all summer long. So I just make a giant pot of this, put it into glass jars, store it in the fridge, and there you go. We have an amazing summertime refreshing drink. You can also throw in some fresh mint from the garden just to top it off. Is it good? One of our all-time summer favorites is, of course, homemade guacamole. And I know that there are so many recipes out there, and I've tried several different ones. I know some people prefer not to put tomatoes in theirs, or not to put cumin in theirs, or other things. But my recipe, and I stick to it just because it is loaded with veggies and so much flavor, and it's just a healthier version because I do not leave anything out. It is loaded with flavor and it is very nutrient dense. So I use avocados, garlic, lime, onions, tomatoes, cilantro, cumin, salt, and pepper. And you don't want to skip a single one of these ingredients. It is the absolute best, most flavorful guacamole you will ever try. And I love to make this, especially in the summertime, when you're able to get some of those fresh ingredients from your very own garden, which just makes the guacamole taste even more amazing. So although it is summertime, we have been having so many thunderstorms and just so much rain lately. And I had just been craving a comfort food, but with a summer twist to it. So I am preparing a chili that I am slow cooking in my Instapot or my pressure cooker. And this is the perfect meal because you can top it with whatever you want. And so I'm making a hearty comfort food, and I'm topping it with fresh green onions that's growing abundantly in the garden, and I'll be topping it with avocado and sour cream and cheese, and all of these things just help it to give a summer feel to it, even though it's technically a food that you would probably want to eat in the fall or winter. But like I said, because of the weather, I have just been feeling like making something to make us feel cozy at home.
It's about to get hot, yes. Okay. So we're going to do slow cook. And then we're going to do pressure.
Yes, hot.
Yep.
Another thing that was on the menu this week was some leftover lasagna that I reheated in a frying pan, and I served it with a side of sauerkraut. So I have been making sauerkraut lately, and I make sure that I always have some at home. It's just an excellent food filled with probiotics and a bunch of other health benefits, and it just tastes great. And sauerkraut is the kind of food that is wonderful to have in the winter as much as it is in the summertime. Since it is summertime and chips and dip are such a popular treat to have when gathering with friends, I think you can use this chili easily as a dip along with some tortilla chips.